Hello, Disc Golf World. Welcome to your 2021 Belton Open, a Disc Golf Pro Tour Silver Series event. My name is Kevin Jones, and joining me today is Luke Humphries. Luke, how are you doing, man?
Man, I'm on 3 cups of coffee. I'm feeling great, and we have a ridiculous card for you guys today. Nikko Locastro, Paul Ulibarri, Paul McBeth, and the beast himself, Ezra Aderhold. I'm so stoked to watch this.
Nice. So we got high energy Luke today.
That's right.
I'm stoked for that.
That's right. All right, we're in Belton, Texas. This is a Silver Series event, the first of the year. You're getting, I think, 25% of the Pro Tour points that you normally get at a DGPT event. And we've got a great field here, 117 guys, some of the top players in the world, including number 1 and number 2 in the world. Going to be great.
Absolutely. Hole 1, you have a couple options off the tee here. A lot of people like to opt for a high hyzer to the right around all of the trees. You have OB. There's 2 pond-like OBs that are in front of the basket that we just flew over. So you could also take the disc straight, and you could even go like a sidearm shot as well. You've got options. I assume Nico's going to go with some type of overstable flex, but you could line up a hyzer.
Yeah, if you've got the big shot, the hyzer does play well. Kind of takes the OB out of the mix.
So he's lining up the hyzer here. We have strong left to right wind, probably 15 miles per hour, I'd say, at least at this point.
Yep.
So it's going to be really hard to get your disc far enough to the left.
Great looking line.
Looks like it's around the one tree it needs to be around, and you can't hate it. A 33-footer for your first birdie.
Yeah, he's going to have a headwind left to right to deal with. Pretty windy day out there, worth noting. Kind of got windier as the day moved on. Not many trees on a lot of these holes, so the wind just sweeping across the plains and making those putts a little tricky. Paul lining up the hyzer as well.
Paul is your 2019 Belton Open champion.
So even though the course has changed a little bit since then, he's definitely got some good feels on this track.
Yeah, he's definitely got the skills for this place. Even if it's like a really long course and it doesn't seem like it fits Paul, like he's really good at picking his spots. And there's a couple holes out here that he'll really try to feast on.
Yeah, the wooded ones. He loves a full commit in the woods.
Wow, this is a great looking line from Paul as long as it misses that tree. And it does. Okay. Wow, really early and short.
Yeah, got a backwards skip and roll, it looked like. He'll be about 70. Or is too.
Yeah, the thing about throwing it that high, like you want to do that to get it far enough back to the left, but you have to have tons of power to do that, which he has, but he didn't get a hold of it that time.
And your 2020 Belton Open champion, Ezra Aderhold, hailing from South Dakota. Pretty good shot there. Weird reaction on the ground. That's just that wind that you can see. Okay, I said 70. This is 80.
Yeah, he was well short.
Stand still.
Guides it to the heart.
Center. Oh my gosh, what a way to start your tournament.
80-footer, left to right wind. The disc didn't even drop all that much, but he did put it up right on the band and just guided it right to the basket. That's a beautiful putt, yeah.
That was what I was going to say. What a beautiful way to start your round. That's fantastic out of Paul.
This is almost a trickier putt here, even though he's much closer than Paul. That was a headwind and a left to right wind, so just tricky to get your angle right there.
Yeah, that sailed on him a little bit. He'll have about his circle's edge coming back. Wow.
Gross.
That is.
What a putt from Paul there, just making sure that his angle is perfect into the headwind. He's not adding power.
No. He knows that if he spins it properly, the wind's going to allow it to keep it tight. That's a great way to start your round.
For sure. That's almost better than Paul's. If you're making those all day, like, you're looking good. And then Nikko with a spin putt into the headwind. Looks like it's calmed down just enough. He found a break in the wind, and it didn't glide his putter up. So.
Yeah, it kind of cost him, that little break in the wind. I think if he had had some heady, that would have lifted. Similar to what we saw in Waco on hole 17, just kind of jump up into the chains. And I'm sure he was expecting a little bit of drop there in the downwind.
Yeah, well, probably not. I mean, it's right to left wind, so with his putt, it shouldn't drop. I guess it cruised a little bit higher than what he thought.
Dang, just floated on him. So the Pauls jumping out to an early lead on the card there. Both of them able to hit nice putts. And what's that do for your round when you hit a good putt like that, Kev?
A lot of good. Sets up the confidence for all the holes coming in. This is a par 4 right here. Any shot out into this field is going to be a great shot. Some people are getting really aggressive and even getting over this hill and looks at 2 on this hole. But with this wind that we're facing today, it's a left to right wind, so it's going to slap your disc to the ground. Anything past those 2 trees that look like a soccer goal is going to be scoreable.
That's perfect. Keeps his hyzer angle, so he's able to get another 70, 80 feet of ground play. Well done from Uli. Thanks to Bushnell for showing us that it's about 265 feet to exit that initial gap. Oh, yeah. Passing up Uli's disc by about 40 feet.
Yeah, you got to love it from Paul. That's exactly what he's looking to do.
Yeah. It looked like he might try that roller as he was just demonstrating the angle in the background. And that was about a foot higher than Nikko would have liked. Birdie's still in play for sure. This hole isn't long enough to keep these pros from having another chance at the bird, but it'll be a little trickier from there.
That's a really good shot from Ezra there.
Sit.
Wow, I haven't even seen anybody contest that left OB.
Oh.
So that shot had a big skip on it. This shot right here it's got to have so much speed control.
All you're trying to do is just crest this hill and then just die.
Oh my gosh, what an amazing shot from Nikko.
Well done from him.
Any shorter and he's well outside the circle with an unrunnable putt, and any further he is down the hill. This is so steep by the basket here. When you're that far away, it's almost impossible to land it at the right speed.
Just like this. I mean, you sail that hill,
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're 45 feet away, putting up the hill. I'm sure that Uli knows what he did there. Just cruised it a little bit. This is interesting. This looks like a full speed disc from
Sidearm can play, but that's what mine kept doing in practice.
Yeah.
They just leak really far out to the right.
Great drive from Paul. Oh, man.
And getting to jump putt into this hole is a huge advantage.
How nice is that?
Yeah. Wow, Uli.
Really. He's hit a couple great putts on the first 2 holes. That's just blowing his confidence up, I'm sure. Fantastic from him. Low left. Great spot on these Discraft baskets. They love to hold that low left spot.
Most baskets do.
Yeah. We call it Kev's pocket. 23 feet left. And conversely, that low right pocket
Yes.
doesn't stick as often as that low left. Caught a lot of chains, as did that.
A lot of chains, but both putts were off there. Ezra's being a little bit high left, and Nikko's being low right.
Man, I guess your name needs to be Paul to be playing good right off the bat.
Apparently it helps. Hole 3 is way different.
Tricky.
Hole 3 is a really short downhill par 3 with this slope on our right all out of bounds. This road is safe though.
Yep.
And then the water long is out of bounds. So
Yeah, that little black wall doesn't play OB. It just kind of stops discs near the basket that are coming down the hill. You wanna keep this low. I like how soft Uli threw that.
yeah, that you can't do that much better. You cannot do that much better.
Oh, yeah.
He did that so good with the speed control. Where you can get in trouble on this hole is for somebody like us, powering down so much can cause some problems, and you have to hit a gap up here. And so, like, if you try to power down so much to park the hole, like Paul here, looks like it's going to be going a little far, right?
Ooh, just over the top.
Yeah.
Sit.
Yeah, that is so common, just to cruise by the basket. You have to power down so much that it gets uncomfortable to even hit the gap. So
yeah, that's exactly right. You really want to test the height on that first hill. Just have it barely go over the hill.
Looks pretty good for Mikko here.
Took a little tree direct.
That's awesome. Another fantastic shot.
Yeah. I hadn't seen a park job on this hole until basically right now. I mean, you birdied it a bunch on me, but you were hitting putts, it felt like.
Oh, gosh.
Go, go, go.
And it does. It's hard. If it would have gotten stuck on that hillside for safety reasons, he would have been out of bounds, and that would have been a costly mistake. Instead, he does have a birdie putt.
Yeah, you've got to go to a drop zone if you end up out of bounds there. And it's kind of a tricky drop zone. They really only give you about 40 feet off the front of the tee box.
Look at this putt here from Paul. Doesn't look like there's a straight line at it, and there's not, and he almost just bended it in.
1 inch low. You can tell he was frustrated by that one. Bended?
Bended.
Heard it?
Bent it. I was trying to think. Bent it like Beckham, you know?
Oh, yeah. Ezra nearly draining his jump putt. He's been about 1 inch off on 3 putts now. Frustrating, but look for him to make the adjustment and start putting him in the basket. Great hole here, Kev. What are you doing?
This hole is awesome. This is a shot that you're just trying to get out of the gap in one on. All the trouble comes if you miss the gap, which this gap is probably, I'd say, 300 feet away.
Yep.
So a lot of people are throwing distance driver to hit it. Some people are throwing fairway. I suppose some people are throwing mids, but they are sacrificing getting out of the gap.
You've got OB left. And as long as this doesn't kick hard, he'll probably have a chance to get it somewhere near the basket for a putt.
That is a really common spot because that part is safe. So a lot of people will be missing up there because they know that the worst that can happen is they pitch out and then pitch up.
Yep.
But if you miss left, that's much bigger problems.
Nikko just going with a putter here. That looked like a Cenas from him.
Interesting. I like it, though, and he's got an automatic shot at the birdie from there.
Right. It's only 445 feet. The green is the trickiest part about this hole. It's kind of a turtle-shaped hump back, so you can sit there and putt 4 or 5 times if you're not careful.
Paul has a fast disc in his hand here, some type of driver.
Get out.
And he did it.
Oh, yeah. Tons
and the
of
skip
play.
all the way up to the pin inside the circle. This is crazy.
Amazing.
Wow. So he opted for a faster disc, even though he's so good at throwing fairway drivers, and just absolutely fillets the shot.
And that's a nuke out of Ezra. And that did not look like it stayed in bounds. Ouch. Just goes over that orange wall on the left side. I say wall. It's a...
Interesting. So, oh my gosh, that is a highly ill-advised shot. What?
Yeah. 4th hole of the tournament.
That
pulled it off.
That couldn't have been on purpose, honestly. It couldn't have. He couldn't have been going for that, right?
I think you're probably right, but who knows? The man's wild. He's won this event before. He's comfortable on this property. He knows what he can do, and he's just trying to get himself back on track. Here's that patent pender out of Uli. He's not even looking at the basket, just making sure his arm swings freely.
That's an athletic shot from Uli there. Sorry, Luke.
No, you're fine. That was completely athletic, and he'll have what looks to be a 10-footer for his birdie to go 4 straight.
Right to left wind here, and Paul not getting it right enough. Looks like he's going to have a birdie here, but that was for eagle.
Yeah, that would have been a great way to start for him. Get himself back on track, a birdie a hole.
And Ezra is just off on his putt right now. It doesn't help that it's such choppy wind right here in Texas like it is.
Totally.
But when you don't have that confidence, it is so hard to find the basket out here. And Paul McBeth and Uli right now are making it look easy.
They can't miss.
And Ezra here again from 20, 25 feet. There's a right to left wind coming in.
He hasn't missed a putt by more than 3 inches.
No, like they're all on it. They're all on it, but just slightly off. These are the hardest days to push through.
Paul Ulibarri, the dream start, 4 through 4. Fantastic golf from him. His putter's hot. The scrambler's hot. He just showed you guys on this hole. He's got a bunch of stuff going for him right now. See if you can keep that confidence the entire round. All right, quick check-in on the leaderboard. This is what some of the other players in the field have done throughout the day so far. Nathan Queen and Casey White carding 10 unders, and then a bunch of 9s, some 8s. Noah Meitzma, great to see his name back up there. And then Garrett Gerthy, 1 left to play. Bunch of good scores, Kev.
Yeah, I mean, 8 to 10 is quite expectable. There are plenty of eagleable holes out here. I would not be surprised if these guys entirely beat that by a few strokes. But at the same time, they can struggle and catch themselves at around 7 under as well. So I'm looking forward to see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. These guys have a bunch of holes to play. Wooded holes on the back 9 as well. Crazy kicks coming. Hole 5, one of the longer par 4s on the course. It'll be playing with a right to left wind the entirety of the hole, making it a little tricky, especially off this drive.
Yep, there's OB right the whole way. You'll be able to see the flags out there. Uli coming nowhere near it, but just lacing a drive up there pretty good. Is he going to be behind these other trees, though? Yes. So this is what happens when you leak a drive to the left.
Yeah, the fairway's huge on this hole, probably 350 feet wide, and the right half of it allows a more optimal approach to the green.
Yes, that's what makes this hole so great, though, is that your drive placement is very important. This is going to get beat down by the wind. Let's see how much distance it can obtain, though.
It looks like it's flexing.
And almost past the trees. That is going to be a little bit tough there because he won't have a run-up.
He got the full flight, so he won't be as far as Paul is from the basket.
Oh, that's got to be beat down.
It's flexing out, though.
Unbelievable. So much penetration there from that force that he threw.
Yeah, and another 50 feet of slide for landing it flat.
And he executed the shot. He got past the trees he wanted to pass. That's impressive, honestly. The amount of power that he put on that to get that through the wind like that. Like, watch what happens. These things, they get beat down up there. Ezra going to be hyzering out early. And now he'll have those trees to contend with. Great hole design here, though, because you've got to hang your drive on the right side if you want a clean look at it. Look at what Paul's dealing with here. Nothing too obstructed, but, I mean, he caught the tree that he had to get past, so that's going to cost him. No way will he be running this putt on that elevated green.
Hard to think so, yep. This green, easily one of the hardest on the course. It's kind of a double-layered tower almost.
And Ezra, I can't believe it actually came that close to hitting the hill there, but...
And it would have stopped inside the circle.
It would have, but he definitely leaked it out to the left there. That right to left wind is coming in really strong, so it's important to play it really far to the right. And Nikko there inside the circle, not loving it though because he's got to have a nice putt from there.
Yeah, I think optimally you'd end up on the right side of the basket, similar to what Paul's doing here. Allow you the downwind putt.
What a beautiful shot, and yeah, I mean...
Didn't need all the roll. But
no, it didn't, but it's still makeable, and this is where Ezra's very similar shot landed, so...
Wow.
Yeah, nothing he can do from there, just play it into the hill. I do like the green here because of that right there. There's a flat area that you can lay up to no problem. Oh, that putt, so difficult from Nikko.
Totally. He's got to go up 8 feet. Right to left headwind. This is a tricky putt for Paul here.
Super. No problem for him. Those putts are going to win you a tournament out here. If he makes those putts constantly, like, it's going to look great for him.
He made that look so easy, too. That was way harder than he made that look.
Yep. I love the sand feature on this hole, too. The sand feature is sweet because when the discs hit the sand, there's no skip, no nothing. So if you spike one into the sand, you've thrown a great shot.
Yeah, it gives you something to aim at.
Ezra slightly off again.
Just can't catch a break, really. 2 inches off on all these putts. A lot of holes to play, though, including a short par 5. He should keep his head high until then.
Good comeback putt from Nikko right there. Gotta love the tie-dye that Nikko's got on. I don't know about you guys, but it is popping on my screen.
It's flamboyant. I love it.
Most people just see a disc. At Discraft, we see over 40 years of innovation, driven by passion, consistency that inspires talent, built on a foundation, designed for success. Over 4 decades of experience behind your first throw.
All right, guys, moving on to hole 6. And as we're doing this, the drone camera brought to you by thediscbarn.com. They've got a huge variety of discs, Discraft, Discmania, and 14 other manufacturers. Pictures of every disc. Go check them out, thediscbarn.com. Thank you, guys.
Hole 6. Today we're going to be facing a 15 mile per hour left to right wind. That's going to cause discs to sometimes get slammed down. Sidearms are going to be doable, but difficult. And this is, wow, Paul. So much respect, man. I'm sitting there in my tournament just licking my chops at that shot that he probably hasn't practiced. He may have practiced, but with the way that the wind was, I was just like dreaming of that line, but I didn't throw it.
Did you go up the middle?
I went up the middle, and I ended up taking a bogey, and that play from Paul, man.
Didn't mess with the Mando tree at all.
Man, that was so good.
Just a little low from Uli. If that had gotten back to the hyzer angle, I would have skipped inside circle 1. One of the trickier par 3s on the course. These guys just want to make sure they're not taking a bogey on this one.
Nikko, just liking what Paul did there, but no way is that Nikko's shot. Nikko doesn't have quite the big enough forehand for that. If he wants to get this birdie, he would need to go up the middle with a flex line.
Oh.
And then this is just...
That's got to start flexing.
Not really sure, honestly.
That's moving right. Is there any out of bounds over there?
No. I mean, that's better than my shot.
Okay. So he's 120 feet right, but wide open. And this is a tricky up and down.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shot he has not practiced. Gonna go backhand on it, even though he's closer than what he was attempting a sidearm on. It's very interesting. Puts it just outside circle.
Gives himself a downwind putt. I'm sure he did that on purpose. Beautiful approach. On a day like this, the last thing you want to do is give yourself a headwind 15-footer. On an upshot like that.
Those are shots that you've got to make on a day like today, and that looked like a shank job from Ezra, but it's perfect.
Playing a little zone skip.
That's kind of Ezra's style. He throws them out there real wide and skips them in a lot. I just wasn't ready for it. Nikko On his jump putt, he gets so close to the basket. He's so extended.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got that step putt down.
And just to cover it again, like that shot from Paul McBeth off the tee to put him right inside the circle, left to right wind. Wow. It's just like, it's so nice.
He knows how good that one was.
Yeah, he would be pumped if he could have that exact putt every round.
There we go.
Even that putt right there, though, you got to give credit to, because look at the flag. It's ripping right at him. Any miss in your angle is going to be amplified.
Totally. You leave that thing even a little bit nose up, and it's floating over the bucket. Next thing you know, you've got another outside the circle putt. Only 6 people able to grab the birdie on that one, and 2 of them were lefties. So obviously a good lefty hole.
Yeah, that's going to bring us to hole 7, which is just an awesome hole that is a big hyzer. Not everybody can reach it.
Definitely
it's a championship hyzer. This is a Disc Golf Pro Tour hole right here. We've got strong left to right wind, so it's going to make it even harder to get your disc all the way around this corner to the basket. Here's Paul. I like the height on it. I've seen good results from shots that are this low, as long as they're pounded.
Yeah, he got the skip out of it because of how low he kept it.
Gross. What a nice shot.
Any higher in the hyzer angle digs instead of skipping.
That's going to be too high from Paul. Not going to be getting the distance needed.
No, it just kind of gets that little flare-up ground play.
There are 2 dangers on this hole. OB left over that fence if you hyzer early, and if you crank it to the right too much, you're also going to be out of bounds. Ezra looking really high, needs some help from the wind. Gets all the way up to circle's edge. Very makeable putt for Ezra, but sitting at 5 over, basket looks smaller and smaller from that distance.
Yep, and that green runs away from the angle that Ezra is going to be putting from, so it'll be a tricky bid. Nikko flirting with the trees on the right. Hooks up in time. And that should be a layup from there. The angle that he'll approach the green from, as you can see, it just falls away.
It does. I wouldn't be surprised if he does give it some kind of soft run, though.
Chill.
Too high from Uli, not what he's wanting there, but he has no lack of confidence from inside the circle right now. Here's going to be a little floater from Nikko. Good little half bid. He definitely wanted to give it more of a bid.
Now he knows the repercussions for going long and rolling away on this. There's just no need to take a... Let's go! A bogey.
That's
Sick
what you want to see
from Ezra.
Ooh. As his other ones were inches off, that one was inches in.
McBeth in the background giving him a little bit of body English. See that? Lifting up his leg, wanting for his buddy's disc go in the basket.
First laps for Paul Ulibarri right there.
Unfortunate. He had that little, I don't know, half bid putt that he gave, kind of ran away from him left, and that's what happens.
It should just be his normal putt from inside the circle, but it looked like, he kind of just fluffed it just a little bit.
So for the second hole in a row, only 6 of the 117 players in the field able to grab the birdie. Ezra, Johnny McRae, Jared Stoll, you, Ricky Wysocki, and Paul McBeth. Basically everybody on that group throws bombs. I mean, and Johnny, the ageless wonder, throwing further every year.
He throws bombs too, though.
Dude.
Johnny McRae can smash the disc. Hole 8, I would say probably averaging an easier par 4.
Yeah.
But very tricky. We've got headwind right to left. We don't know what we've got here. It's whipping in weird directions. Paul just says, whatever, I'm just going to smash something overstable. Needs help from the wind. That is way out there.
That thing flipped.
No
to flat.
way. He goes out of bounds.
And that disc is gone, too. That's
out in
the water.
Yeah, that disc is sailing still.
Ezra, after you watch somebody throwing in the water like that and you've got your tee shot coming up, what do you tell yourself?
Probably to throw it low.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Ezra does there.
Yeah, on a tee shot that's super windy with a little bit of unsureness. You know, you watch somebody who knows wind throw it OB right, and then you're just left questioning what's going on. It's a hard place to be mentally.
That's a nice overstable disc from Nikko, and he's just going to need it to sit, and it does. No skip there's crucial.
It was safe. That's what it was.
Definitely, and he'll be left with a pretty easy upshot. This hole coming in is the second easiest hole on the course, so
Okay.
these guys dissecting it.
If there was no wind, it would be way easier. That's tricky. Okay, well, we keep saying that, but
Yeah.
that's going to be tough from Paul right there. I mean, that's not an area that he's practiced from. His run-up could be a little tough. But
Do you think that Ulibarri and Ezra's shots change if Paul just fillets the fairway and they have a good line to follow right off the bat?
yeah, a little bit at least, I think.
Just some confidence in what the wind's doing instead of just that, you know.
Yeah. I think so for sure. That looks good from Ezra. That's what you want to see, a nice recovery shot.
That's why it comes in as the second easiest hole. After Ezra's drive, he's still able to throw it well inside circle one for his birdie look. This needs to not skip left, right?
Sweet shot from Paul McBeth.
Drop in par.
An athletic shot.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I'm just saying it's not something they practice very much. They're just making something happen given the circumstances.
Nice upshot.
Yep.
Stable approach disc from Nikko. And this is eagle bid.
This is a very hard wind read right here because they're...
Not an eagle bid. This is just a birdie bid, excuse me.
Whoa, and he makes it.
Stop it.
Uli does not make very many of those. Whether you like it or not, his outside the circle putting hasn't been great in recent history.
He knows it's in, too. He's already walking it in.
But already this year, I've seen more and more of these putts fall. He's been practicing them.
Nice birdie from Ezra as well. Yeah, we saw Jessica Weiss throwing some similar looking putts in Vegas and draining them. That final round, she hit a couple of them. If you haven't seen that coverage, GK Pro also filmed that. And that little Annie putt gaining popularity on the Pro Tour. We've seen Kona doing it, Jess now. Obviously, Paul's been doing it for a little while, but his efficiency seems to be going up. Hole number 9. This is a lefty dream hole coming in at just under 400 feet. If you've got a great sidearm or you're a lefty backhand player, this is a perfect hole for you. Skip it right on the flats, let it jump up onto the side hill.
Just too low from Ezra. 5 feet higher, and it's probably under the basket, but...
Interested
Error.
to see what Nikko does here. If he goes roller, or is he going backhand air shot? He's got the forehand distance, but evidently he likes this more.
That was a mid-range?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the mid-range, you're going to have to throw almost a perfect shot to park the hole at least.
Right. A backhand shot, you'd probably be playing more to a pin-high position trying to hit your 20-footer up the hill. This looks great other than that
It
stick.
did. Roller's a great idea here. Ooh, that early bounce just killed its momentum because he already put it on a really soft line.
Right, playing downwind, the roller could easily go long, and he knows that from practice, obviously.
This is a great championship sidearm hole right here. Let's see Paul looking a little high. Needs to go, though. It's going to be a little short. No, his distance is great.
Crazy. Pure hyzer the whole way.
Got an ankle again.
Underrated forehand. One of the best in the world.
It's because he makes it look so effortless. If it's underrated, that's the only reason. Because that shot right there is the highest level forehand there is. A 400-foot shot with no flex.
Right. You can't Annie it out of the hand. Wow.
Ooh.
That's a tricky putt from there. Kind of floated on him just a little bit. Looked like it was a bid. That was Yuli's putt, unlike couple holes ago when he 3-putted that one. That seemed like he was actually bidding. Great putt from Nikko to keep his momentum going, not drop a stroke.
Yeah, that is a really nice putt.
That tie-dye is so loud. Ooh. Another good one. Oh yeah, carding the easy birdie, picking up a stroke on his card there. Moving himself to 7 under through 9 holes. This guy's on a heater.
Ezra going to be missing another inside the circle putt, taking a bogey. Unable to find his groove on this front 9 whatsoever.
Yeah, agreed. He's got 9 holes and probably the easier 9 coming up, though. Lots of golf left to play as we check out these guys' front 9s. Dang, Paul, only 2 pars.
Yeah, 7 down on the front is so good. Paul just dicing this course up. Uli doing really solid as well. 4 down, 5 down is really nice on the front. Plenty of scoring opportunities on the back, including a couple eagle opportunities.
And just a shout out to Rick Wysocki right now. 9 under through 12 holes. Crazy pace that he's started on. Similar to Paul's. Might be seeing a Paul-Rick duel.
That's what it's looking like. And it's putts like that that are helping Paul right now. Just that utter confidence and knowing that the disc is going exactly where he's throwing it.
Yeah. You basically got to throw that one at the pan, knowing it's going to raise.
Yep.
Beautiful putt by Paul there. Thank you guys for being with us here on the front 9. We'll see you on the back.
Catch you there.